Starting in October, I'll be teaching the all-time classic 8-bar blues Key to the Highway in my membership, the Fingerstyle 5. Today, I just want to give you a bit of a preview of that tune and what it's going to sound like as we work on it, and show you one way that you can take a steady bass and start to turn it into more of a walking bass line. So Key to the Highway works great in the key of E, which means you're going to have a steady bass that's playing an E chord, going up to a B, and then coming down to A for 2 bars. And then for the second half, you're going to go back to E, go to the 5 chord, and then probably play some kind of turnaround. That's how the chord progression is going to go, and you're going to spell out that chord progression, and the basis of the groove is going to come from that steady bass thumb. Now the melody on top works nicely if you harmonize it using sixths, which is really hard to say, but not that hard to do. It means taking the melody notes and seeing if you can find a note 6 notes down that you can harmonize the melody with. You're not going to harmonize every note, but you'll harmonize as many of them as you can. Right, so when you're on the E chord, you've got this interval you can play, and then you go chromatically down to the top of the B7 chord. And then on the A, you can play a 6th, and then a 5th, another 6th here, and here, and here. So, and then it's going to be mostly single notes. For the rest of the melody, for like bars 5 and 6. Now, where we can start to make things a little more interesting is anytime there's a pause in the melody, we can take advantage of that to start to play a little bit more in the bass. And the notes we can choose are going to be either other notes in the same chord or a note that's in between a chord tone we've just been on and a chord tone we want to get to. So for instance, if we're on E, we can come up to the 3rd, and then we can play the open A because that's on the way to the root of the B chord, and that's where we're trying to get to in the next measure. So now meanwhile, we've got the melody, so it's just steady bass on the open E until we have a gap in the melody, and then we can start to move the bass. Now here we have to kind of do 2 things at once. We have to finish the bass line and start the next melody. But then here on the B, we can do the same kind of thing. We can jump from the B down to the F sharp, the 5th of B, and then walk up to A, which is where we want to get to for measure 3. So just doing those things, we get this. So it starts to add a little more variety, and it means that you're kind of doing this call and response between the melody and the bass, which is pretty cool. That is just one of the variations that we're going to introduce to the tune Key to the Highway inside my Fingerstyle 5 membership in October. We'll start with a basic or fundamental version of the tune and then start to add some different embellishments, adding in chord shapes to harmonize the melody, adding in these kind of bass notes, syncopating the melody with triplets, all the things that start to make a melody sound more interesting as you develop the tune. If you want to learn more about the Fingerstyle 5, you can head over to fretboardconfidential.com to find out more, and I'll be back tomorrow with a few more details about what we're going to be covering starting in October inside the membership. Until then, if you got a question or a comment, leave it for me down below. I'd love to hear from you. And as always, thanks for watching.